It's an election race too close to call. The longtime leader of Israel versus the former leader of the military. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu holding a cabinet meeting in the West Bank, promising to annex parts of the territory if he wins. Despite the inevitable international outcry, Netanyahu has shown once again he'll do whatever it takes to win. The 69-year-old leader has put his friendship with President Donald Trump on full display. He's made claims of election fraud, saying the left and the Arabs want to steal the elections.
Yet another secret nuclear site.
In his element, Netanyahu has controlled the news agenda, making big announcements almost nightly. But in his get-out-the-vote push, he issued a warning to supporters of his Likud party.
Don't sit at home. Don't say it doesn't matter. It matters all right. Right now, we're losing. If you go out and vote Likud, then we'll win.
Former Chief of Staff Benny Gantz has been polling neck and neck with Netanyahu. He has struggled to control the narrative and has not found a resounding message. Analysts have said his campaign is lackluster, and yet he's very much in this race. His main talking point, Netanyahu is a danger to democracy.
Those who do not want to see a government that tramples on the principles of democracy must go out and vote blue and white.
Gantz served under Netanyahu as the Israeli military chief of staff, but now they are political enemies. These two men were separated by less than 15,000 votes in April's election. Both claimed victory that night, and both men were, in the end, mistaken. Now it's round two, where a second chance to win also means another chance to lose.
The president really lashed out at members of the media for saying that he would be willing to meet with Iran with no conditions, and he is claiming that that is incorrect. But let's just listen. This is the president, along with his secretaries of state and treasury, what they have said in the last couple of days and in months. Roll it.
The president has made clear he's happy to take a meeting with no preconditions, but we are maintaining the maximum pressure campaign.
The president's made very clear he's prepared to meet with no preconditions.
No for preconditions? The next 3 years. Not as far as I'm concerned. No preconditions.
So you hear it for yourself. I mean, this is demonstrably false. So why is the president trying to pretend otherwise?
Well, it's unclear, and oftentimes he has this approach where he wants to appear tough at the outset of these negotiations, but he's trying to label these assertions that he was willing to meet with no preconditions as fake news. But the sources are his own cabinet officials. You know, all of this notwithstanding, I think that's part of the problem with this president is there's so many inconsistencies at a time when you need steady leadership. And when it comes to this meeting, this is the first opportunity he's really going to have to sit down face-to-face with the Iranian president to actually de-escalate, because there's simply I don't think there's much appetite for another potential military conflict.
Yo lo único que me preguntaba era que si yo me merecía esto, man. Nadie sabe por lo que uno pasa cuando pasa por una situación como esta. Yo pasé muchos momentos difíciles, mucho. Yo voy a seguir trabajando en mi fundación, voy a seguir tratando de ayudar a gente a que mejoren, porque esa es mi naturaleza. Yo no puedo dejar que un tiro o que unos bandidos cambien mi naturaleza.
Let's go now to the Saudi capital of Riyadh, where we find CNN's Nick Robertson. And Nick, the Saudis specifically are pointing their finger at Iran, with whom, of course, they're involved in this proxy war in Yemen. Did the Saudis have any evidence that the attack was launched from within Iran?
Yeah, the Saudis say they do. They say that the weapon systems that were used were Iranian weapon systems, and they plan to invite journalists, they said this today, to take a look. But we've just had in the last few minutes Jake, a statement from the Saudi Foreign Ministry here, and they say that they're going to invite UN and international experts to join the investigation to help examine the evidence that they're coming up with, so that there can be, it appears, a better international coordination and perhaps support for what the Saudis are saying. So they're indicating that they're going to try and bring the international community with them on what they're saying so far. They do say, however, that they will take appropriate action depending on the outcome and the findings of their investigation. They say that they have the capacity and resolve to defend their land. Specifically right now, however, while saying that these were Iranian weapon systems, they are saying they are still investigating precisely where those weapons were fired from. They have, however, ruled out Yemen as being that base. So again, it is all swinging round to point at Iran, but the Saudis at the moment taking a sort of a more statesman-like diplomatic role, if you will, trying to bring in international support for the position they say they find themselves in here. Jake?
All right, Nick Robertson in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, thanks so much.